I'm very grateful that people have asked me what it is I think I know, or that I would never have done this. What I think I know is that it is light that brings light, and light brings life, and light and life bring love. And love is a sensation of goodness, of awareness, of truth, of peace, of happiness, of home. And it is something that's achievable outside the necessity for, what can I say, anything other than a sense of community. And a sense of community is a sense of oneness, not merely with your neighborhoods, but with all life on the planet. We're all animals, after all, mammals. And we like to believe that we're useful. Most people want to have jobs. Well, if you're a philosopher, you're already stuck with a job because you realize you're doing a lot of thinking, you're doing a lot of research, you're doing a lot of passionate engagement, I guess. And that's pretty healthy. What I'm trying to say, I guess, has sort of slipped my mind a little bit, and that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's necessary to slow down. Sometimes it's necessary to allow the water to settle. Sometimes it's necessary to be silent. Especially for people like me who are bards, bardic traditions, singing, songs. I can really identify with Shakespeare. I was down that country when I was working years ago at the BBC, a place called Wood Norton. And they used to train spies there. And of course, they were still training spies there, but I was too stupid to know that at the time. It took me a long, long time to wake up. It really wasn't until after my father passed away in 84, Christmas Eve, no less, 84, that I began to really feel alone. The Admiral, who I guess was my father's operational director or whatever, he passed away, I think, in 75. So he was already gone. So my dad was, largely responsible for encouraging me in what I was doing. He did come out to visit once or twice in Western Canada, and he where is he here? I've got to show you my dad. Here's my dad. Here's my dear old dad, and my dear old dad was a dear guy. Yeah, he was a nice man, really sweet man. I was so blessed. I really was. And and Dad and Granddad and most of the West family. And we're a big family, although I think we're one of, whatever, how old a root I am, but I'm one of them. I guess a patriarch of an order or another. And they truly believed that there should be peace between peoples. And grandfather, as I've been told and as I have reason to believe, and I'm sure he told me the story because he used to talk to me by the hour when I was a little boy and I had to sit and listen, or stand and listen mostly. And I wrote a poem about that. You'll have to go to Canada, cold feet and little boots. You'll have to go to Canada and put down roots. Well, I got roots here now, I guess. And after 50 years, the old tree is got roots. I'm looking forward to another 20 years here, to be quite honest. That's why I would like to see things cleared up now. I've tolerated, just being quiet and being polite, and the things I was shouting in the in the street yesterday. I guess I should have been shouting in England before I left, but at 23 and trying to be polite and trying to make it into the whatever social classes one aspired to at that time. You're polite, you're quiet, And then I came to Canada and it was even more polite and more quiet. And I thought, my godfathers, well, something can be done. And, well, it's been a struggle, but I believe Canadians are waking up now in a very serious way. I think we would like to see honourable settlement. We'd like to know that the British Commonwealth of Nations are behind us in attempting not to overthrow a government, but to gently structurally reform a style of management of our collective affairs, which is now insufferable. And so a need for a caretaker government is rather clear and rather imminent. And I believe that the steps towards that are inevitable now. I don't know whether we will be going to a general strike if there's not proper behaviour during the Olympics. I'm not just sure which direction it's going to go, but it's clearly that the forces of darkness are trying to push the common people of British Columbia to the edge, and this is entirely unacceptable. The option, of course, is the one I propose to the anarchists, and I guess I believe in enlightened anarchy. If we're going to have anarchy, is just to let them get on with it. You know, just let them fly their helicopters around and let them do their thing and blibbity bobbity boo. There will be demonstrations, and those demonstrations will be carefully monitored for false flag and so on. And doubtless there will be reprisals. Although, again, that sounds threatening, but that's just the way, philosophically, I've observed the Canadian people. They're very long-suffering, and they've suffered a long time. They've suffered most of the 50 years I've been here of a police state oppression, in my observation as an Englishman. But they're not fools. You know, people will only tolerate the dirty tricks and blue meanness for so long, and then they begin to realize how they've been taken in and how their legitimate needs and the legitimate needs of many, many families across Canada for a state where young people have the opportunity, if they have children, to bring those children up, you know, to be hands-on parents, to be at-home parents. I believe that as soon as young people marry and have children, then I think, you know, they should be already considered to be the working class and a part of the working class, and therefore they should be guaranteed annual income for need, you know, and anyone who can demonstrate, you know, that they are a part of the working class, and it comes down to, then I think we should have guaranteed annual income for need, and a responsible government would do that. Anyway, I'm told that a few minutes is 7 minutes about all I should talk, so I'm splitting these up, so I'm going to stop there. But monetarism is the challenge of our times. Zeitgeists are right on the money when they're talking about the metaphysical relationship to the Avatar, which is now a popular film, I understand. I haven't seen it, probably won't, but I highly recommend Zeitgeist, especially the bit that I read a couple of years ago, which dealt with the geometry of the world. I talked to a Mayan lady the other day, and she said that she thought their year had, their year had 20 months. And I understood that it was 20 months. And I said, well, I understood that it was based on the moon, and there were 13 moons. Anyway, she didn't know for sure, and I didn't know for sure, so we didn't go far with that. But anyway, it's a piece of information. Thank you very much. Next time, I'll have something more useful to say, hopefully, or less useful, God willing. No, I don't want to be that. Okay, I'll shut up now. I better just have another smoke. God bless.